Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillahi wahdah, wassalatu wassalamu ala man la nabiyya ba'da, amma ba'd. So we have gone through the makharij, which is the letter of articulation, point of articulation for each of the letters. So 28 consonants in Arabic language that we have to pronounce. And obviously one vowel such. Until I ask, you would not say a word, otherwise you lose your point. Let's see. Ahmad got 100 points, by the way. He's quiet. So, makharij. So we've got 5 articulation areas. And each area has few points where the letter will come out. 17 points altogether in those 5 areas. And 17 points give you 29 sounds, different letters. Now, there are certain letters that will come out from the same point. The distinction between them are based on the sifat, the attribute. How this one is pronounced and how that one is pronounced, coming from the same place, but there's subtle difference. And that difference must be established, must be practiced, must be known and learned. Otherwise, you're committing sin. You're sinful if you do not know that difference and you do not apply that. It's a major mistake, because that is how you distinguish one letter from other. So we have covered almost everything other than the lip. Lips, there are 4 points there. We'll cover 2 points for 4 letters. We'll come to that in a minute. That's for today. Let's just revise it. So as I mentioned before, the sound comes out from the vocal cord once you breathe out, the expiration. So that phase, the air comes out, it goes the vibration to the cord, which is the vocal cord, going like this, producing a sound, the sound comes out, and then sound travels in the air, coming out this way because the air is pushing it this way. It can only come out this way. Once it's coming out this way, you use your tongue to twist it in whichever form, whichever way, your throat. We get used to of pronouncing those letters only by hearing it, because we hear it how I heard it from my parents, I would say the same way. That is why people normally have the same accent, same style. You can distinguish even from family to family. This is how they speak, the tone there, the small, slant there for certain words, slight extension. Within the families, you can find, in my household, we speak like this. In my, paternal or maternal uncle's household, there's slight difference. And I know each of them. I can very easily identify, oh, this is their style. Because you just get used to that. You all pick that based on your hearing. And that is why a person who cannot hear cannot speak. Although he's got all the apparatus working nicely, properly. He hasn't got any default there, any fault there, any defect there. But he can't speak. Why? Because he can't hear. You can only replicate your sounds by hearing. Without hearing, you can't make it a natural sound. So deaf person cannot be a speaking person. He'll be dumb, unfortunately. Okay, that is why it is extremely important to identify that early on and get them to expose to the words. Anyway, so as the sound is coming out, what is the first articulation area? Throat here, throat. You have 3 points, bottom, middle, and top. Hamza ha from the bottom, ayn ha, ghayn kha. Hamza ha, say it. Hamza ha, ayn ha, ghayn kha. 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 So Hamza is pronounced that's first sound. So if you connect it with a letter ba, that's jerk. Sha'n. Kullu man alayha. Sha'n. Sha'n. No, kullu man alayha fan. But that is where the shan, the one before that. Sha'n. Yughni. Sha'n. Sha'nu yughni. Sha'nu yughni. Yeah, sha'n. That's Hamza is a jerky letter. That comes from the bottom. And then ba, buhtan, that ha. The normal English H, that is the second one coming from the base. And you can see the vibration, you can feel the vibration. If you put your finger on your throat, put it there and say, feel the vibration? Has a very subtle vibration. You can't feel it very well because it is not non-vibrating one, but is ba, ta. that is, you get the vibration. So, and then one in the middle is ain and ha. Ah, 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 and ah. You should be able to point where it's coming from. Feel it. Next to each other, very close, yeah. And just above that is and if you say now ha and then ha, can you see one is below, one is above? Can you appreciate that? Not because I'm saying, must be, you should be able to point where it's coming. Just above that. And when you're saying now say qaf there. Is just above that, which is the base of the tongue. The ghain, where it stops, ha is the same, next to it, same line. Both at the same level. And qaf comes just above that, which is the tongue, base of the tongue. That was throat. This is the tongue, base of the tongue goes up. Tongue goes up. The base of the tongue goes up. And then you have kaf just in front of the Say Can you see how it's moving forward? Yes. And then you've got the middle part, which is jim ya shin aj, ash, iyaka. These three in the center. So jim ya shin, they're pronounced from the center. Aj, ash, ay. Yeah. Jaish. Jaish means army. So jim ya shin. That's in the center of the tongue. And you go side, each side or either side or both sides together, you can pronounce the letter bod. The tongue goes up, the side of the tongue goes up from the inside, connect to the inside of the premolars and molars, and drags a little bit ideally. And it's a full mouth. You can do from right, from left, or from both. So that's your bod. And then comes the tip of the tongue, front, whole of the front, or most of the front. This is lam. Al goes up, and the tip then goes a little bit ahead of that or behind that, both ways fine. Ar. See, little difference. Same place. They're very close. Tip, little. Obviously, the tongue is more space for lam. The noon and the ra, they're a little less, but they're just in the same place, very close. Close place. Yes, appreciate that. Similar space, very close to each other. Yes, and then the only difference with noon though is noon has two makhraj, 2 points. It doesn't only come from here; it comes from the nostril as well. You can't pronounce noon and meme without nasalizing it. If you say that is fine. You block it. Say you can't do that unless you use the nose. You have to use the nose. If it's blocked for whatever reason, you can't say an. You will say an. You try, but it doesn't. It is close, but it's not noon. Okay. The blocked nose people, they speak like that. So half of that goes from the nostril, and half from that, the tip of the tongue, going to the hard palate. Talu, here. So, you know, yeah. Then you have the tip of the tongue coming further forward, outward. So this is hanging teeth of Bugs Bunny. You see the long teeth, 4 of them. That's a tongue from the side. It goes where the teeth are inserted in the jaw, in the gums, inside there. If you touch here, you say 3 letters. What are they? Ta, dal, and pa. أطو أد ta, dal, and ta. The difference between ta and ta is only because they're coming from the same makhraj. What's the distinction? One is heavy, one is light. So she say sirata. You're saying with sin and ta. That's wrong. This is sad and ta. Sirata. Heavy. All three are. Siratal. You can't say siratal. Mustaqim is fine. Mustaqim, wrong. You make ta into ta. Don't say mustaqim. Mustaqim. Okay. So that distinction has to be made. Ta, dal, and ta. It's actually dropping the jaw a little bit, lifting the base of the tongue up, and pronouncing up, as opposed to, and then obviously if you, in the initial stage, you can just say up, round it a little bit. Okay. Then the middle, with the teeth plate is, middle of the teeth plate inside, which is the Safir letter. Safir is whistle letter. As seen. And Sad, coming from the same place. Sad, sa. One is heavy, one is light. Same. Ta and ta, one is heavy, one is light. One is heavy, one is light. And za, z. Okay. Zal, idha zulzilatil ardu zilzalaha. With the whistle. गलत पढ़ा भी लेकिन गलत पढ़ा पूरा सही से पढ़ा ही नहीं तूने याद ही नहीं किया साथ पढ़ो मेरे जुलजिलतिल अर्दु जिलजालहा समझ में आया कि जहाँ whistle है and then इदा में soft. So that's the third group. The first group, teeth here. Second, here. Third, here. Tip of the tongue touching the tip of incisors. الذين إذا and then Allah, which is طاغى. Same place. One is heavy, one is light. Allah عظيم. And then third one is, what is the third letter? Fa. See, tongue is touching and coming out. You see it's all. All three. Okay. إذا ثم عظيم ظالم مظلوم. All three coming from the same place. And then finally, so that's done. Today, let's have a look. What are they showing us? By fa. Now the lip has the dry part which is outside and wet part which is inside. That's wet part. Okay, this is outside, this is inside, wet part. When min batin ash-shafat as-sufla, lower lips, batin, inside. Okay, here. Ma atraf ath-thanaya uliya, from this side of the end of the thanaya uliya, these two incisors. So you go like this. Fa, not fa. It doesn't go on the dry part, go on the wet part inside. Fa. Yeah, fa. Just bring it down. Fa. Af. Yeah, easy. We all know it, but just making sure that don't do it like the af. Dry part shouldn't be used. And then waw, غير مادية means waw without fatha dhamma kasra. Waw with fatha dhamma kasra. They're غير مادية. Wa. Okay. Alif waw and ya, which is silent. The a, u, e, ba, bu, bi, that comes from the center of the mouth cavity. Yeah. So this one is wa. So it's W in English language. All the W's, all waw in Quran are W sound, not V. You don't say V. Wal arzi. Wrong. Wal. Wal, always wa, we, wa, woo. And then comes ba, ba, again. You just, intibaq means you just bring them close them. Ba. But for ba, you do not, ba. Don't roll it in. You don't roll it in. It should just stay the way it is. Ba. Just keep it normally and just go down. Ba, ab, ba. Okay? And meme likewise. Same. You don't say ba, same way. The distinction obviously is with meme, half of the makharaj is noon, nose, nostril. It has to come from the it must come from the nose. For ba, it's just here. Ab, ab, okay. So those are the 4 letters of throat, and that's done. Let's read this little bit from here. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. حميم. تنزيل من الرحمن الرحيم. إخفاء. تنزيل من الرحمن. Not rahni, make it slight rounded. رحمن الرحيم. كتاب فصلت. إخفاء. كتاب فصلت. صاد. Remember the صاد and sin are different. Fussi, as opposed to fussi. That is seen. فصلت آياته قرآنا عربيا لقوم يعلمون. قرآنا عربيا لقوم يعلمون. Don't make lam as in English lam. عربي قوم. No, wrong. عربيا لقوم يعلمون. يعلمون. And try to, when you pronounce a dhamma, moon, must protrude the lips out. You can't say يعلمون. Don't letting it out. No. يعلمون. Fully out. You can't pronounce waw or dhamma without protruding your lips properly, making it round. You can't just do it without that. Where you shouldn't be doing, you do it. وَالضُّحَى وَلَا You don't need to do it there. It's not needed for any of the musta'aliya letter, but people do it. Here, you must do with dhamma and with waw. بشيرا ونذيرا. نذيرا. بشيرا ونذيرا. فأعرض. رض. فأعرض. أكثرهم. Ra is full mouth, remember that. أكثرهم فهم لا يسمعون. يسمعون. Close your teeth, don't lisp. Sin comes behind. Yasma'un. Say yasma'un, that becomes sa. Yes, behind the teeth. Keep inside. Yes. Close. Yes. Like this. Don't let. I know you got holes there, but make sure the tongue doesn't come out. وقالوا قلوبنا قالوا का बच्चा وقالوا وقالوا قلوبنا आपके अब्बा मुराद नहीं है यहाँ पर अब्बा को बता दिया रिकॉर्डिंग में जूते लगाएंगे وقالوا قلوبنا في أكنة وقالوا قلوبنا في أكنة مما تدعونا في أكنة مما تدعونا إليه A lot of focus there. في أكنة مما تدعونا إليه A lot of prolongation. Even that much सांस निकल जाती है की देर में तो एक रिदम मेंटेन नहीं करोगे तो पता लगेगा गड़बड़ कहाँ हो रही है should be all doing the same level है ना वो गड़बड़ क्या होती है so some we've done fee we did okay akinna did okay tim half कर दिया पहले वाला मीम जल्दी खा गया शॉर्ट कर दिया उसको दूसरे वाले मीम को शॉर्ट कर दिया तो ऑब्वियसली आगे पीछे हो नहीं है इसलिए कि हमारा दिमाग और कान सब सारी चीजें तो साथ काम करती है ना एक वक्त में एक ही करती है so pay attention وقالوا قلوبنا في أكنة مما تدعونا إليه وقالوا قلوبنا في أكنة مما تدعونا إليه. Normally, one needs to lead it so that everyone is just following it. But slowly and slowly build up to that rhythm. Without the rhythm, the flow, you don't get it right. Many a time people think that I'm doing it, so the measure should be almost similar. You can't do ghunna. Mim ghunna is this long here. Next mim ghunna is half of that, or little less than that, or little more than that. Then you do not know the balance. It has to be balanced throughout. And that is the beauty of the reciters when they recite. It is not about how much beautiful noise or sound they have and how much they could go up and down. That never appeals. What appeals is this thing. Why we like the proper recitation? Everyone knows a good recitation, they just enjoy it because of this. They know the makharij, they have got that smooth recitation throughout. They do not make mistakes. Like, subtle here and there is okay, but a lot of difference. وفي آذاننا وقر وقر واو and قاف is قلقلة that raw is sorry with full mouth وفي آذاننا وقر وقر ومن بيننا وبينك حجاب فاعمل إننا عاملون. Let's try the whole ayat together. It's a little long. I will do first and then we do together. وقالوا قلوبنا في أكنة مما تدعونا إليه وفي آذاننا وقر ومن بيننا وبينك حجاب فاعمل إننا عاملون. قلوبنا في أكنة مما ما تدعونا إليه وفي آذاننا وقر ومن بيننا وبينك حجاب فاعمل إننا عاملون. डिफिकल्ट है ना, लेकिन मजा आता है ऐसे तो कुरान के लिए जान तो लगाया आदमी जरा, कितना मजा आता है अल्लाह का कलाम ऐसे मोहब्बत से पढ़ोगे तो मजा आएगा, जान लगा के पढ़ो, रश मत करो. इफ यू गेट स्टक देन गो बैक. लेकिन हम साथ साथ थोड़ी सी सांस की प्रैक्टिस इसीलिए करते हैं कि सांस भी तो सही हो. कुल इन्नमा अना बशरुम मिस्लुकुम, अना बशरुम मिस्लुकुम. Wherever you find this alif in ana, this alif is not pronounced. It is only written, you do not pronounce it. So ana is without alif. So ana, this is the style of writing. It's like knowledge. Do you say knowledge? What do you say? I know, K-N-O-W means what? You say kano, but you don't say kano. So why? But that's your language. This is our language, our style. قل إنما أنا بشر مثلكم يوحى إلي أنما إلهكم إله واحد. أنما إلهكم إله واحد فاستقيموا إليه واستغفروه وويل للمشركين. قل إنما أنا بشر مثلكم يوحى إلي أنما إلهكم إله واحد فاستقيموا إليه واستغفروه. So if you get stuck, you can break in this. But inshallah, let's do it. قل إنما أنا بشر مثلكم يوحى إلي. أنا बताता लिफ को खींचना नहीं बिना वजह. Have to pay attention to everything. قل إنما أنا بشر مثلكم يوحى إلي. أنما إلهكم إله واحد أنما إلهكم إله واحد. ठीक नहीं, हुकुम नहीं, इलाहुकुम या इलाहकुम नहीं. अन्नमा इलाहुकुम इलाहु वाहिद. वाहिद فاستقيموا إليه واستغفروه At the end there is ha. If you واستغفروا and you stop, that's wrong. You have missed one letter. واستغفروه ha side. وويل للمشركين الذين لا يؤتون الزكاة وهم بالآخرة هم كافرون. هم, so هم وهم, this meme sakina followed by ba, you do prolong a little bit. إخفاء شفوي. وهم بالآخرة هم كافرون. إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لهم أجر غير ممنون. صدق الله العظيم. मेहनत करते रहो, अल्लाह बरकत अता फरमाए, अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला फजल फरमाए। वस्सलाम वालेकुम।